All right, folks, welcome back to the last State of the Whale of 2022. Can you believe we made it? Amazing to think that the Pixel was just coming to life, being born in January, and now it is the soup du jour. Now it is the thing that you need to make sure that your ads are operating at optimal levels. But before we dig into that, let's toss it over to our fearless leaders and co-founders, AJ and Max. Where are we holding, AJ?
End of the year. And it's interesting. We still have a huge product lineup that we've been working on over the last 8 to 10 weeks right now, which includes rules. Some of you guys have used them already. I think we're evaluating close to 130,000 rules per day, which is pretty insane. So there's a huge lineup of products that are coming out at the beginning of January, which I think will have the same impact that Pixel had on people's businesses. So I'm very, very excited about those. Everything from making our current products even deeper and better for you guys, as well as a ton of new value that will help everyone run their businesses more efficiently and effectively and profitably. So I am very excited, very, very excited about 2023. I also think we have some moonshot slash we're going to the moon, so it's not that far away for us, right? Like other companies. So moonshot as is actually something that's going to happen. I think there's some very exciting projects that we're working on in 2023 that I can't wait to share with everyone.
Amazing.
Okay, so no spilled tea there yet. Let's do a little bit of reflection.
We can't spill it. Yeah.
Let's do some reflection. What was your guys' favorite part of 2022?
I think when
becoming a company,
but that was in August, or that was previous. That was 2021.
Turning into we went through a crazy transformation this year, right? Going from 20 employees, I think last year, to now 130.
22
to 130, around 130. Going from a team of what was like maybe 8 developers back then to a team of close to 50 right now on the product R&D side. Building some very, very deep tech this year. Very excited about that will come out early next. Actually, some of it's already in production. Some of you may not know what's in production right now. Some very exciting things we built that we did not think were possible with the small team that we had. I think it's pretty unbelievable what one person can do if they put their mind to it. And just stories of helping merchants throughout the year has been really fun, right? Meeting merchants that, are living with Triple Whale every day, checking it. Please don't drive and trek Triple Whale. I saw that. Not advised.
Disclaimer.
People going from like Triple Whale their cigarette, also not a good metaphor, but like they're checking every 5 minutes. I actually hope that over 2023 we get better monitoring of the system, so you don't have to check it every 5 minutes. So you can actually not be in Triple Whale and just let Triple Whale take care of the business for you. That's sort of the goal for 2023, I would say. Zach Murray actually had a great line they may be using. If 2023 is about connecting your data, 2023 is about connecting with your data.
Oh, amazing. That's great.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot that we do to turn your data into growth and make the data alive, not just like static, sitting there on the page, but actually jumping and doing stuff for you. That's the goal of 2023. I'd say more than anything.
Yeah, I think that if like Triple Whale was kind of this machine, I think the next thing is kind of turning into this like profitability machine where you're being able to see where you're at, but now you're being able to see how you can make more money. What was your favorite parts of the year, Max?
Yeah, great. Great question. I know there's a lot going on here. I think favorite parts of the year was like opening a real office in Israel, opening a real office over here, like the growing up stuff. You know what I mean? It was really interesting. Closing Series A, massive, and actually really seeing how people really are loving what we're building, and hearing those stories and seeing those stories. Huge. It's a reward, it's very rewarding to build something that is actually moving the needle in people's lives.
I love that. And we really, it's not all roses and sunshine sometimes. And so when you have that message from a user or just an unsolicited like brag on Twitter or something like that, that really, really lifts us up. So we really appreciate if we didn't get back to you or something like that. We're sorry, but please keep posting those things because they are absolutely just incredible shots. They just reinvigorate us to keep plowing down the mission.
Rob, one thing I think Triple Whale did very well early on is leverage influencers. I think
early on.
I don't want to do a good job with it. I think people have this idea that we pay influencers and therefore there's so much love spilled on Twitter. It's also the opposite, really. We had so much love and the influencers loved us that they wanted to promote us. And some of them did get equity in the company for that, right? For jumping on with us. But actually, it was the flip side. It was them starting off as users, loving the product, and then being like, oh, I want to be part of this. How can I put my brand and name and my own built equity in my own brand into Triple Whale and tie that together?
Yeah.
And so it was really the flip side. I think it could get confusing when you have someone unsolicited love notes on Twitter. But we do not ask people and we do not have equity in the company. Like, oh, is Triple Whale just paying all these people to do it?
No.
The answer is
It's real. It's real.
It's real.
It's very real.
Yeah, and so I don't know how we combat that. I think it's going to even grow over time, right? We're going to have even more people do that over time. But yeah, I think there's a lot of very interesting things coming down the line. Could be more exciting.
No, I'm saying
Let's go and see.
our one-on-one with Max yesterday. That's what I echoed. Where I've never been so bullish on the company. I mean, it's the roadmap, the team. I mean, heck, we got a chief of ways like in their prime time. Like that is absolutely unheard of. We have Meta people knocking down our doors to join the marketing team. Like we've only been in business for literally basically a year. Like, I mean, there was definitely the half year of 2022, but that was, sussing things out, figuring things, putting things together,
I honestly think I think right now Whale has a pixel sized product.
What?
We have a pixel sized product coming January right now. Like a monumentous change that's coming in January to businesses. The things we could talk about are small things like Amazon. That's not that small, right? No, let's not talk about that now. No, I'm talking about the whole suite.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So Amazon's coming. That's the ad platform. It's the seller center. It's your fees. It's your COGS. Everything from Amazon coming early January. We also have an upgraded Shopify infrastructure, which will allow sorting by tags.
Amazing.
Throughout the whole summary page.
More ad channels.
More ad channels, and the big one also is a CDP coming, which I'm very excited about.
That is a customer data platform. Can you tell people what a CDP is? Or like what your vision for it is?
Imagine being able to build a cohort of users that came from a specific campaign and also touched a Google campaign, a specific Google campaign. Building that cohort, first of all, pushing it back into the ad channels or into Klaviyo if you want to. Measuring that cohort over time, looking at the other customer insight pages like their LTV over time, and figuring out what they do, right? And so it's sort of like also building AI audiences on top of that, RFM audiences that you can push back into Facebook and to Klaviyo.
RFM is recency, frequency, monetary. It's essentially an algorithm that you can run to understand the value of your customer using those three vectors, just to keep people up to speed.
Making an audience off of frequency or monetary value, like, and you're running those in different places.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are creating a lot more service area in Triple Whale, creating a lot more value for our customers. I do think that there's a lot of pricing, packaging questions that we have internally that we're working on. There is this dichotomy right now where Triple Whale is building a lot of value. And we do want to give all that value away for free, but we're a business also, so we also have to make money. And so we are really building, like we could just be the pixel company and be charging what we're doing, but we're launching all this other stuff on top of it. And
right.
So how much do you charge? How do you charge? These are questions that we are wrestling with a lot and trying to figure out from our community, from pricing experts, how to price things accordingly. So we make sure that we are helping merchants grow while obviously also earning the right amount of money for that. That is a question that we're always battling with.
Yeah, we're doing some really cool things to make sure that the value and the price is going to be a little bit more aligned. And then there's also some things coming down the pipeline that we can't talk about yet, but will allow for some easier on ramps for people that are at different stages in their journey that might not have the resources to afford the proper pixel or things of that nature. And so we do really want to help everybody and empower everyone to run a D2C business in a more meaningful and effective manner. We just got to make sure that we do it in a way that not only helps everybody else, but we have investors and we we have things of that nature as well. So we got to make sure we put some dollars in the bank account.
We're definitely here to make money, right? And here to help people. Those are both.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's exactly it.
The best thing about capitalism is that your own. No, we're very the company. Your own good, right? Like the other person's doing good for the other person is your good, right? Like the way you make money is by doing good by other people, and that's the only way you make money in a capitalistic environment, unless you're doing anything corrupt. We don't have to get into there, but going back to, I would say like this. I think it's important. It's really important to realize this. 2023 is going to be the year of AI. If 2022 wasn't, 2023 definitely will be. 2022 was already, but I would say they're the better team suited to activate your data than the Triple L team. And so having your data parked with us is a good place to be going into 2023.
Yeah, and that's what I think what's really interesting in the way you guys have built and constructed the product roadmap is the more data you give us, the more value you will get out of Triple Well. So if you start integrating into the Fin Hub, if you start doing these things where we can now see into all of your business to then make sure we're almost like an attorney, but in a good way, where like you tell us where all the skeletons are to make sure that we can help you make more money and mitigate where the bad stuff is, and then augment the really amazing things. So I like I said, I couldn't be more happy. And I agree with you. I think that right now we're in the phase, I think 2022 was essentially the AI phase of exploration / discovery. I think 2023 will be the phase of implementation and getting value from actual real AI.
I think that if people are thinking of Triple Whale, right, of where it's going to help people mainly, like the 3 core areas we're thinking about in general are number 1, marketing and media, right? Number 2 is operations and the Fin Hub. And number 3 is analytics, right? And the CDP. And so those 3 pillars are going to be the 3 pillars that really work together, right? Holistically. You need your ads to be connected to your inventory, right? You need your finances to connect it to your inventory and to your ads to know how much to borrow, right? And so
how much to buy.
Or how much to buy, right?
Both on the ads and inventory side.
So this holistic system that we're building right now, I think is the first one in the business, really, to be a full holistic system. I think there's a lot that needs to get built here. It's not a simple system to build. But we're very excited for 2023.
And there's some really interesting things that we're doing. Again, we can't spill too much tea on this, but that will allow us to enter different economic models that have prohibited other companies from doing this. And then, frankly, other companies have just not sat across the breadth of data that we have for each user. So there's just some really interesting moats and competitive advantages there. I want to do a little fun question, though. How many trips did you make to Israel this year?
Me, AJ?
Yeah, AJ, and then we'll go Max.
I don't know, Max. How many trips did I make?
For people that don't know, our engineering and dev is all out of Israel. And AJ is very involved in our development.
10, I would say.
8 to 10? What about you, Max?
I think I did 5.
5?
Max did 5, I did 10.
Okay, amazing. That's beautiful. If there was one word that you would use to describe Triple Whale in 2023, we'll start with you, Max. What would it be? And then we'll go to you, AJ.
One word to describe.
One word. Yeah.
2022?
2023.
Oh.
The future.
Level up. Leveling up.
Leveling up. 2 words. Yeah. Boss's prerogative. You can take an extra.
Okay,
leveling up. I love that. AJ, what would you say?
I don't know. I would say something machine learning, basically.
Okay. Yeah. You guys both took. See, this is what happens when you give your bosses one question and they take 2 words. It is what it is.
All right, give us some more questions. I like that.
Okay. Okay. I would say, so what do you think was the most interesting development in the D2C ecosystem in 2022? Was there anything that, whether it's triple whale or macro environment or anything like that, did anything catch your eye?
In the macro environment, I think PMAX and Advantage Plus. I
Yep.
think from our perspective, have
Yeah.
been the most interesting developments.
For people that don't know, those are essentially black box campaigns. So Facebook's advantage shopping campaigns. You basically sell them together, just pump money into it, and then the PMax Performance Max is Google's essentially version of that.
That's within the ad ecosystem. I would say within the macro Texas tech, it's definitely GPTs.
Yep.
General, right? The generative models, those large. I wouldn't even say it's not GPT. Yeah, it's not GPT chat even, and it's not.
It's the generative stuff.
It's not the generative stuff. It's the art. It's like the what's behind the generative stuff that's really interesting.
Okay.
The idea of these huge models that are just data ingestion tools that spit out quantitatively better results the more data you give it. I think the world's just trying to figure out exactly what that means.
Kind of get it integrated. Like
yeah. And so I think there's going to be a lot of unlocks there for Triple Whale, but also for other companies. I think Facebook will be able to do better targeting with these large models.
Interesting.
I think there's a lot of things that can change with these. Like these large models actually predict the next token, right? So the next token is the next ad you want to see, right? So I think there's a lot of very interesting things that can happen over the next year. I think Triple Whale is uniquely positioned to take advantage of those developments because we hold everyone's data, right? So there's a lot we can do there. And then on the Triple Whale side, I think the most interesting thing that happened this year.
You just said PMax.
No, in Triple Whale.
Got it.
In Triple Whale, what's the most interesting thing that happened? Honestly, the Pixel happened this year. So that's the most.
It's insane, right? I don't think people.
The Pixel sort of dwarfs everything else we've done up until now.
Yeah.
I think that the rules with the systems that we're putting in place around the rules right now, I think will be the next one that's very, very interesting. And then there's a couple of other that are very interesting as well.
Surprised there was no shout out for Floppy Whale. I mean, that was just a masterful innovation.
Floppy Whale. Yeah.
Floppy Whale was strong. Did you have anything to add, Max?
Yeah. Can you repeat the question? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
What was the most interesting development?
What?
It just did D2C, macro, and anything that really caught your eye that you remember that where you're like, wow, that's really slick.
Yeah. I think just like the overall seriousness that D2C brands are taking in terms of multi-channel and customer lifetime value and the lack of the ability to just like arbitrage CPAs. Like really the biggest changes that have happened with the attribution. Because you can't just like guess.
Yeah, I love it. Do you think Facebook will keep its stranglehold on being the biggest spending channel for people in 2023? We'll start with you. Yeah. Okay. That was the easy one.
They're gonna take bites.
I just Shlomo put all our data in. We have all data in Elastic and in BigQuery right now. But in Elastic right now,
what's Elastic?
Elasticsearch is whatever. So we're just talking today about the spend that we're monitoring across different channels. I think we're monitoring right now close to $3 billion US and non-US, maybe a little bit over $3 billion annually. Yeah. And he's like, Facebook is whatever percentage, sort of Google, and then the channels you do not see, they're invisible. He's like, we should not support them. Oh, we're going to support them, but like Snapchat and
Pins, you
can't see them. And TikTok, you can see is 5% right now, but it's rising.
TikTok is rising fast.
It's pretty interesting. Visible everything else.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where TikTok ends up because not only the US kind of crazy legislation stuff, but it's been hard spending for them just because creative dies so quickly that all things being equal, it's just so expensive to dip into that. We only have 2 minutes left. I know you guys have a hard stop at 4:55, or what is that? 3:55. 3:55. So let's start with you, Max, and then we'll end with you, AJ. Any kind of parting words, any wisdoms, anything that you want to leave everybody with for the 2022 year, or anything that you just kind of want to close out? I mean, this has been just for me personally, just an absolutely transformative year. And it's just been a real honor to see how you guys have been able to build something so robust and anti-fragile in terms of like any of the negative stuff that happened to us, we still ended up in like a better place than before. And I think that's really a testament to the team and the culture that you guys have built. But do you have any parting words, Max? Or
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think people are freaked out by like, let's say the lack of attribution. Also, let's say macro. But I think all these things are the problems that these things cause, or the worries, are short term. And based on all of our experiences this past year, D2C is in like a very good place, and it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So it's just time to get smarter and double down. I think 2023 is going to be rocking. It's hard to know what's going to happen, but
it's actually
it's the key to success, right? It's like it's a really grit. You know what I mean? Being able to make it through and be able to measure what you're doing along the way.
I want to say two things on that note. First of all, yes, everything's up, by the way. Spend's up, so is revenue up on our data sets. So it's a good sign. I do think that we're in the holiday of Hanukkah for the Jews, and there's other holidays coming up very soon for the rest of the world. And I think this time of year is a time of light, right? And it's a time of darkness. I think that I can't predict next year. It does seem that next year may be a little bit of a rough year in terms of the economic situation. I don't know. I'm hoping that it's not. But I will say what Max said, the Maccabees sort of beat that war, which is insane, against all odds. I do not think that the macro situation determines the micro of anyone's environment.
So well put.
One should look at the macro and be like, oh, that's why it's happening to me, right? Every single D2C brand on Triple Whale and Triple Whale itself, we can all 4, 5, 10x next year. Like there's nothing, the only reason you can't blame the macro on what you do personally. So just take the macro into, put that on the side note that's happening, right? How do I keep on crushing it next year and take the light of these time of the year into the rest of the year?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I know you guys have to get going, so amazing. Thank you so much. We will take next week off for State of the Whale, and then we'll be back in 2023. But yeah, I mean, amazing. Thank you for hiring me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. This has been great. It's been a really just year of my life.
Twitter went from 1,000 followers or 1,200 to 12,000.
What are we at, 12?
Yeah. I mean, our LinkedIn's massive. We're doing really well. We have some podcast network stuff to spill in 2023 that we're going to be doing. We're going to be really heavily into YouTube. We had a bunch of success on TikTok. It just didn't translate to business performance, so we ended up kind of sunsetting that. So we might try that again. But yeah, it's been really cool to see all the love in the community, and also all the feedback, whether it be positive or constructive criticism, has just been really awesome to see, because at the end of the day, like, we want to help you all, and you all telling us what you need, or if there's better ways we can do things, it's really, really well appreciated. So if you are a Triple Whaler, make sure you're in Narwhal Nation, make sure to get on Whale Mail. Yeah, that's it. I know I'm a minute over, guys, so I'll wrap up if you want to dip out. We have the Whaleys. The Whaleys just launched. That is thewhaleys.com. We'd love to have you all out. It's going to be, think of the Oscars for D2C. That'll be in Austin, Texas, February 1st and 2nd. And then also we obviously have our wonderful Whale Mail. That's triplewhale.com/whale mail. You subscribe right there. It goes out every Tuesday, Thursday. And just from the bottom of my heart, from the marketing team here in Austin, from the dev and engineering team out of Jerusalem, and the proper HQ where all the big bosses sit in Columbus, we just want to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, and we really appreciate all the love and support. And Rich will get you that RFM model, and obviously my Look-See boys, let's go. Rich in the house. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Like I said, we'll be off next week. Enjoy the time off, enjoy the holidays, and we'll see everyone in 2023. Thanks for stopping in. Bye.